Om. 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 Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Gungurubhyo Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Gananam Tvam Ganapatigum Havamahe Kabim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jyashtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspadam Anashrinvannudibissida sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidanandamurtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Yasyatma Bhudasya Guru Prasadat Aham Vimuktosmi Samsara Bandhat Sarvopadeshtu Shivanandamurtege Mridvagriyukmam Pranadosmi Nityam Dayasindhum Dinabandhum Shastrartabodhanapatum Maskarindra Varam Nomi Sri Chidananda Sadgurum. Om Praninam Dukkha Hartaru Jnanado Bhuvana Muktaye Shivananda Chidanando Asraye Guru Sattamo. Om Shantatmanam Pranadasulabham Siddha Vidya Prabhavam Bhaswadrupam Sugunaniliyam Dvastakarmadivargam Prajnavrittam Nijasamadrisham Taradam Tyagibhadyam Sakshat Isham Mamaguruvadam Shivanandam Natosmi. Shivanandam Natosmi Akhandananda Sambodho Vandanatyasya Jayate Govindam Tamaham Vande Chidanandatanum Gurum. Chidanandatanum Gurum. Om. My humble pranams to the divine presence in every one of you. So I'm very happy to be here and to participate in the 80th anniversary of this Bangalore Divine Life Society branch. And also the subject, also I'm very happy the subject given is the 10 tenets of Gurudev Swami Shivananda, be good, do good, etc. Followed by a question answer session. Normally, the spiritual leaders, spiritual teachers, the Sadhu Mahatmas, speak on big philosophy. If you go to this Rishikesh or Benares, the sadhus, especially sadhus, and also traditional sadhus, then the sannyasis, which parampara, Shankara parampara we belong to, or also the Vaishnava parampara. They generally speak on, based on scriptures, and they will quote only the Shastras. I also quote only. Gurudev was different from that. Gurudev was different from that, and therefore, initially Gurudev was not accepted among the sadhu circles. They don't consider him as one of the sadhu, one among them. Even today also, the Mandaleshwaras will not consider us equal to them, although some of us might have been qualified, so studied all those scriptures. The traditional teachers are like that. But in spite of that, Gurudev spoke on simple things. And also not only that, he spoke on a language which is not common. He spoke on English. Most of his instructions were English. Here also it is, be good, do good. So be good, do good are normally not accepted as spiritual teaching. Normally what they will say the Bhagavan, speak about Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, Bhagavat, or Ramayana, or Vedanta Upanishads. The Katha Upanishad says like this Upanishad says like this. So Gurudev has written all those books. He has written on Principal Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita. Most of the scriptures he has translated. Not only the Sanskrit scriptures, even the other scriptures. Even from these, about the life of saints, and the Vaishnava saints, the Shaivite saints, and yoga, and the Yoga Vasishta, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavat, all these things, subjects he has covered. Although he has very traditionally, as the traditional teachers used to do, he has covered all the traditional scriptures, but he has spoken in very simple language. Very small things he has told. So that is one of the reasons that he was not accepted by, because he speaks ordinary things. There is no big philosophy in that like that. So that is not totally correct. The Shastra also speaks only ordinary things. The Shastra does not speak big things. The primary Guru, who is the primary Guru? Narayanam, Padmanabhanam, Vasishtam, Shaktim cha, Tatputra Parasharam cha, Vyasam Shukam, like that it comes. So Bhagavan Narayana, then the next is Padmanabhanam. Padmanabhanam, both are right. So Padmanabhanam is Brahma. So what Brahma has taught, we should see. So Narayana Bhagavan gave to Brahmaji. From Brahma, then he gives to his putras, like that it comes. So when the first teacher Narayana gave the instructions, Narayana Bhagavan only, from him, the Vedas came from him. He also delivered the Vedas to the Brahma also. Because the Vedas are the Nishyasanam Vedaha. It's not told as Narayana, but it is told as the supreme reality. His breath is Vedas. And then he revealed that Vedas in the mind of Brahma. So Brahma then keep on teaching it actually. So Veda Parampara is also there. So Brahma taught. What he taught actually? He also taught very simple things. Gurudev followed that only. So 3 people went to Brahma to study philosophy, to lead a spiritual life, what we should do in this life. So 3 people went there. One is an Asura. The second one is a human being. The third one is a Brahma. What I say is a Upanishad story. It is not my own creation. It is from the Brihadaranya Upanishad. So 3 people went to Brahma and asked him, kindly enlighten us. One was a Asura, and the other was a human being. The third was a Devata, Indra. So he said, all right, you be here for some time and do some seva, he said. So they remained there and they were doing tapasya for some time. They were doing seva also. Afterwards, all right, now you can come, he said. So the Asura came to him. He did not tell much. He told only one letter. That letter is called Da. Da, he said. Da. He asked, have you understood? Then the Asura said, yes, I understood. What is that? He asked. Daya. Compassion. Yes, you can go. You practice Daya, you can go, he said. Then the human came. He told, same letter, da. Have you understood? He asked, yes, he said. What is that? He said, dhanam, charity. Control, compassion, charity. Yes, you can go, he said. Then the third, Devata came, Indra came. He told the same letter, da. Have you understood? He asked. Yes, what is that? He said, dhamma, control yourself. The asuras are very cruel people. If they become compassionate, then they will achieve everything. So compassion, daya. The human beings, they want to hoard everything. I want to save everything, my funds, all security, this security, that security, insurance. And then for my children's children, all these things, they hoard. No. You give away. You do charity. So charity was told. And Devatas, they have got everything, but they don't have any control over their sense organs. They indulge too much. Don't indulge too much. Dhamma, he said. So he said, da. So the Upanishad says, that words of Brahma is reverberating even today. Da. Means what do you understand? Da. Means what? It is the sound of the thunder. Okay? Da. The thunder, you know. So even today, Brahma is giving this instruction through the thunder. Da. So this has been told recently and just 100 years before also. 100 years before, one person got Nobel Prize for Literature. Those who have studied English at the higher levels may be knowing, his name was Eliot. Eliot got his Nobel Prize for his work called The Voice of the Thunder. He has not, I do not know whether he has referred to the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad or not, but he has written only this, da, this voice of the thunder, and he got Nobel Prize. What Brahma has told, what is there in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, somebody writes in English, and then he got the Nobel Prize. This is truth actually. And recently, very recently, one of the topmost IT person, who is the topmost IT person now? Otherwise Indian. Satya Nadella has written a book, you know. Recently a book. It's called Hit and Refresh. Nobody knew. You people should be knowing. Hit and Refresh is a famous book by Satya Nadella, written about 5-6 years before. And that is the policy of the Microsoft, he says. So the policy of Microsoft is actually empathy. Empathy means sympathy, karuna. What daya they told, that puts it in another word, empathy. And the story is like this. He writes so many things. The core story is Satya Nadella he did his B.Tech in Manipal, and afterwards he went to US and studied, and then he became the Microsoft head. He got married to a girl, and she was an architect. I think her name is Aparna, maybe sometime wrong also. And they got married, and after a few years they got a child. And that son had a congenital brain problem. He was confined to the wheelchair. He could not speak, he could not do anything. He was confined to that. But he was growing. So if anyone has got a child, invalid child, or someone invalid in our house is there, father, mother, or anyone, then we will be very sad. And Swamiji, my child is like this, my child is like this. Why Bhagavan has given this problem to me? What you will all say, if you have a problem, if there is someone in your house who is invalid, a child or anyone, or parents, so he is like suffering, he is suffering, I am also undergoing this problem. So why this problem has come to me, why God has given to me, I am doing all good things. So, normally, if a mother has got an invalid child, she will be worried about her problem. I am put to this difficulty. Because of this child, I am put to this difficulty. They never think that this child is suffering. How best I can serve the child? How best I can make the child happy? They will never think like that. So Satyanarayana says, his wife accepted that situation. And she did all, whatever she can do, the best to that child. And to see that the child is comfortable, she never bothered about herself. She looked after the child well. Her empathy towards that child was something unique, something wonderful. And I have to learn it from her. And it took me a very long time, he says. So that empathy is our policy, he says. So for whether for business or for spiritual field, the Daya is considered to be the most important life. If your life is successful here, secular life is successful here, in order to have a successful secular life, you should have empathy towards people. You should have Maitri Bhava, friendliness towards people. How far you are able to accept the people around you. Swamiji was telling that you are God, he said. We go and worship a God in the temples. And we are worried about whether the puja is correct or not and all these things. Have you any time worried about the next person who is sitting near me, whether he is comfortable? It is told that Bhagavan is everywhere. So if Bhagavan is everywhere, have we accepted that? Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriteshe arthishtati, he said. Sarvam kalvidam brahma. So these are fundamental things are there, you know. We are basically, as human beings, we are more selfish actually. So there is the Asura in us. So although the story says, the Asura, the Devata and the human, three people went and got instructions from Brahma, they say, but actually it is a philosophical statement, it is symbolically said. The reality is that in us, there is the human in us. You are a good person. You are very cruel sometimes. You are very kind sometimes. You have control over you. You have totally no control over you. So all these things are there. So there is the human in us. There is the devil in us. There is the divine in us. So lifting oneself from the devil to the human and from the human to divine. Otherwise Gurudeva used to say from the animal to the man, from man to the human. So Gurudeva, whenever he speaks about animals, he used to say horizontal beings. They are horizontal beings. We grow vertically. The animals grow horizontally. The dog will grow more this way, whereas we go more this way. We don't grow this way. If you grow this way, what will happen, you see? We don't want to grow this way or this way. We want to grow this way. So they are called horizontal beings. It's a Sanskrit word. Tiryak. Tiryak means horizontal. So they are horizontal beings actually. Gurudeva uses the correct terminology according to Sanskrit. So there is the animal in us, and there is the human in us, and the divine in us. So these three are there. So we have to eliminate the animal in us first and become human. Then only we can do the other practices. So once you practice this, from the animal level we come to the human level, then other things, the progress is automatic actually. Once you push up Suppose if the bottle is there, if you want to roll it, give first a push. Then it will keep on rolling for some time. So like that, from the animal level, we have to lift us to the human level first. That is very difficult. And all the sadhana is for that purpose only. Real spiritual sadhana is not chanting of certain mantras. Chanting can be done by anybody. I don't criticize it. It is required. But that is not everything. How far we are able to do the worship, that the God in the presence of the other person. How far we are able to accept the presence of God in the other. And the Shastra keeps on telling that the concept of other is the biggest problem. What is our problem? The concept of the other. Dvidiyat vai bhayam bhavati. If you study in Sanskrit, you will not understand this. Gurudev puts it in very simple way. As long as you are different from me, either I love you or hate you. Both cases it will be a problem. If I love you means I want you to do oblige me every time. I hate you, I want to eliminate you. If I love you, I want to make you my slave. You will be possessive. If I hate you, I want to eliminate you. Okay, am I right? Think about it actually. So philosophy is not something not amenable to logic. Philosophy is full of logic actually. It is simple psychology. So Gurudev knows all these things, and these are exactly according to the Shastras. Shastra says this, but somehow, because our mind is not pure, you study the Shastra, you will not understand this. They will quote the Shastra, but they will not be able to follow. So what the Bhagavan says in the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna speaks about, he says, that what Arjuna says is correct. The war is something, everybody will die. Why should we indulge in that? It is correct. Then why should Bhagavan advise him to go for war? So Bhagavan says, Ashocyanandashochastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gatasun agatasubscha nanushochanti pandidaha. He says, unnecessarily you are worrying. This is all our problem, okay? You are all worried. Worried about what? Ashochyan and ashochaha. You should not worry about, you are worrying about a thing about which you should not have worried. No need to worry about it, but you are unnecessarily worrying about it. And prajnavadamscha bhashase, you speak as if you know everything. You stupid fellow, you do not know anything, but you talk like a big man. And what you do is wrong, fundamentally wrong. You should not have worried about this. You are worrying unnecessarily. Our case is that. We are worried. Worried about what? All of us are worried. Why are you worried? How long this worry will be there? If there is a problem today, after 2 years you see, that problem is not worrying you. The problem was not solved, but it got dissolved actually. So most of our problems are our imaginations. You have no problem. Your Swarupa is Ananda. Peace is your Swarupa. Shanto ayamatma. Your nature is Shanti actually. But Ashanti we create and worry about ourselves. So that is because the Asura in us, the Asura is not allowing us to be peaceful. The Asura in us is not allowing us to be happy. The Asura in us is not allowing to be friendly with others. Maitri Bhava. Small things only. Gurudev says, that's why Gurudev says that the branches of the Divine Life Society need not be a big branch, 1,000 people are there. He doesn't say all these things. He says in the family, the father, mother and child. Father is the president, mother is the secretary, the child is the treasurer. Okay. Because this has to be practiced actually. small things we have to practice. We are not able to adjust with the other person. It is applicable in your home. It is applicable in your workspace also. Adapt, adjust, accommodate. Is it not required? Are we able to do that? Why I am fighting with you and fighting with the people? You are fighting with your wife, your child, your boss, your subordinate. Why all these things? So, we go for these management lectures. What the management people say, this only they put it in a new case, and a new cover it is being delivered. The same compassion, adapt, adjust, accommodate is being told by all management institutions. In most of the management lectures it will be there. Sympathy will be there. Instead of that they will use the word empathy. Some technique. Some new terminologies they coin. So Satya Nadella will coin one terminology, and the other, what is this? Sundar Pichai will say another thing. Another fellow will say another thing. So ultimately, the basics, if the basics are set correct, if it is set up, that will take care of everything. So Gurudev has spoken about those basics actually, and those basics are called in our Shastra as Dharma. The basics in our Shastra is called Dharma. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir means whenever you forget that, Bhagavan comes to remind you. Bhagavan is born here actually. He reminds you, these things if you take care, then it will be all right. Maitri karuna mudita upekshanam sukha dukkha punya vishayanam bhavanataha chitta prasadanam. It's a sutra from the Yoga Shastra. We want to be happy always. No one wants to be unhappy. The chitta prasada should be there. Mind is pleasant. You should be smiling. Okay. We want to see that other person smiles. So how is it possible? Maitri karuna mudita upekshanam sukha dukkha punya vishayanam bhavanataha chitta prasadanam. Maitri means friendliness. We all have friendliness, but not at the proper place. Maitri, karuna, compassion. Sometimes you give some food to the poor fellow. Something you do charity, you donate some money to this and all this in karuna. Mudita, happiness. Upeksha, indifference. So all these things are available. We have all these qualities, but they are not at the proper place. If it is properly understood and adapted, practiced, then there will be Maitri Bhava. Now, for example, we may be worried. Is it working? Yeah? Okay. Okay. So, for example, Maitri Bhava. Suppose now we are all living in flats. Neighbor is there. If the neighbor is happy, what will be our condition? We will be unhappy. Don't tell a lie to me. If a neighbor is very happy, then we become unhappy. Even if it is genuine, that also is unhappy. I give an example like this. Because I usually handle students and highly qualified students. Then they will also say, we will be happy. No, you won't be happy. Then I put the question, you will not be happy. Suppose you are living in a flat and a neighbor is having a son. And that fellow, suppose if he is and I will give you two answers. So if a neighbor is there, and neighbor has got a son, and that fellow writes a competitive examination, maybe 10th standard or 12th standard or the IIT for a qualifying entrance examination, and he gets rank and selected. Then he comes and tells you, uncle, I have passed today and I will be selected. So one chocolate. Yes, yes. We will be very happy. You'll be very happy. Yes, yes. Your father was also very intelligent. He deserves, and you also deserve, we will say. Now the other case. We have a son of the same level. And this fellow also appears the examination. And he failed and that fellow passed. And then he comes and gives us one chocolate. Uncle, I have passed. When we accept it, whether we will be happy, tell me honestly. Why we are unhappy? That is the asura in us. We may pose as if we are happy and we will curse. These qualities, unless we change all these qualities, we cannot be happy. This is not working, I think. Okay? Okay. So these are all small things only. Gurudev speaks about these things only. When you do charity means charity to genuine case, and you should feel happy to do the charity, not for some other sake, not for income tax benefit. For ATG. Something may be there. If those things, let the ATG be there. But if you genuinely do it, and someone is very greedy, poor fellow is greedy, we will oblige him. Why not you think like that? Gurudev's case, somebody does wrong thing, and he will support him. The others will question, Swamiji, you are supporting him. Poor fellow, he doesn't know. Why not? Why should we think like that? Let him be happy. Why not you think like that? So small things are there. Unnecessarily we have got unnecessary egoism, unnecessary enmity, unnecessary jealousy, hatred. Free us from egoism, lust, greed, hatred and jealousy. This is not that easy actually. It is easy to say. It is easy to give upadesha. For us it is easy. But for you it is difficult. We need not do all these things. We will only tell you to do it. You understand what I said? We only give you advice. You have to follow. We need not follow, you see. So you are not understood. Okay. So what happened? So these are small things. These are exactly according to Shastras. But people don't speak about this. They speak about Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahma Ivanapara. That is not to be spoken. That is to be lived. Bhagavan is everywhere is not to be spoken. It is to be felt. It should be our anubhava. Bhagavan is everywhere is not something to be told. Bhagavan is everywhere. Neither the person will understand nor you will understand. But the presence of God has to be felt everywhere. So that should be an anubhuti. That should be an experience. That should be an experience actually. It is not something to be preached actually. Certain things you have to preach. Certain things you have to practice. You have to practice and you have to undergo that. You have to enjoy that. You have to live that. So, practice these small things if you practice. I will not entertain any jealousy. I will not have enmity with anyone. Even if you do something wrong, I am not going to retaliate. I will just do you something good. All these things we practice, then the whole things will change actually. Life will change. The whole world will support us. We need not worry about it. God will support us. You need not think about anything. Whatever you want, it will be provided. So Shastras keeps on telling us about this because Nayamatma pravachanena labhya. These are Upanishad. Nayamatma pravachanena labhya. Na medhaya. Na bahuna shtutena. By giving lectures, you will not study. Pravachana means study and speaking. By studying the Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita and giving lectures about it, I am very thorough about Bhagavad Gita. I know all the 700 slokas by heart. Each word I know. Shankara Bhashya I have studied. These are all will not be of any use to that person. Nor if he gives a delivery, a lecture, that will also be not useful. They will also intellectually appreciate. Sometimes, oh, very beautiful lecture, but it will not be of any use. Whereas if you practice this, your presence will influence him. Your presence will influence him. So tapasya is that actually. Tapasya is practicing those things. It's a difficult thing actually. I will speak only truth. It is very difficult. I will not accept anything that is not required. Very difficult. I will not be angry. Whatever you say, I will be calm. Very difficult. But the practice, afterwards the situation will not come. Afterwards such situation will not come. Nobody will have the courage to be angry with you. If you are practicing truth, nobody will tell you untruth to you. If you are totally submissive, the whole world will bow at your feet. Gurudev did not demand respect from people. He was commanding respect. Wherever he went, people went and prostrated at him, even the Mandaleshwars. Once there was a conference of the sadhus. Gurudev was asked to speak in that sadhu mahatmas, what they should do. Gurudev said, I am an ordinary person. Why you call me? You are all big Mandaleshwars are there. You can speak to them. No. Swamiji, you please come and speak, he said. They said. Then Gurudev, first he was very reluctant because they are all big Mahatmas and so they live traditional sadhus. He is not a traditional sadhu. So he said, no, he said, but they insisted. Then all right, he said. Then to give some upadesha, how they should lead their life to that. Then when Gurudev went there, Gurudev went early. Very early went to that ashram. And ashram is the hill top and there are steps leading to Ganga. So time is there. Gurudev went and sitting in the Ganga and Siddhanta Swamiji was there with him. Siddhanta Swamiji was at that time, he was only Sridhar Rao. He was not a sannyasi. So he was Gurudev's Chela, he was also with him to help him. So, and after some time Gurudev was time, so Gurudev was climbing the staircase up to that ashram. So there, one person used to carry water for temple worship, Ganga water. So they have a big rod and 2 buckets will be tied to the end. So they carry like this. So that man go and empty that and then we again come down. He was coming down, Gurudev was going up. Gurudev, when he was coming down, and he is at a higher level, Gurudev was at a lower level. Gurudev touched his feet. He bent before and bowed down. Then that man got a shock. This Mahatma is touching my feet. He is doing pranams to me. He said, I will get Papa. If he touches my feet, I will get Papa. I should have touched his feet. He is touching my feet. I will have Papa. Hey, Swamiji, what are you doing? You are touching my feet. He said, I will acquire Papa, he says. And he keep on telling. And Gurudev did not say anything. He was walking. So Siddhanta Swamiji was behind. Then he told, you see, this Swamiji is touching my feet, he said. Siddhanta Swamiji told, Gurudev say Bhagavan in everywhere, that is why he touched your feet, he said. I did not ask you anything. Will you answer? Like that he scolded Swamiji also. Then Gurudev turned, no, what he said is correct, he said. So the feeling of the presence of God has to be practiced. And you should be able to touch the feet of someone who is lower than you. And when a sweeper comes, Gurudev used to say, Hari Om, Maharaj, kaise hai? He will ask. How many of us can do that? This is the character of Sri Ramachandra. If you go through the Ramayana, it will be found that Sri Ramachandra will speak to the person, anyone he meets. If he had an encounter with anyone, he will speak first. And he will speak first with smile. Smita Purva Abhibhashi. Smita Purva Abhibhashi means you will smile and speak first. Suppose you are coming in front of me, then I will expect first you should do namaskar. Yeah. I will do like this. That is prohibited in the Shastras. Normally I am a big person, I am a sadhu, age-wise and otherwise, and Shastra reading, I am a big fan, you are an ordinary person, so I will expect that you should do something. I say, this is not according to Shastra. You should, how are you? I should ask first. How is Swamiji? I am okay. You will say then. Then you will learn humility from me. If I say, then you will learn the arrogance from me. So these are what Gurudev has told. Gurudev says, be good, do good means all the 20 spiritual instructions if you go through, he speaks about small things. Even an iota of practice of this will lift you, will make your life more meaningful, more happy, and more peace will be there. And I can quote any amount of Shastras to support all these things. If you go through Bhagavat or Ramayana or Upanishad, everywhere this will be there. The Maitri Bhava, Daya, Karuna, and small things. Suppose it is a very small thing. Normally our ego will not allow us to speak to you first. Swamiji, you should ask. Yes. Shivantan, how are you? I will ask then. Why not I ask? Shivantanji, how are you? Why not I ask? Purva Abhibhashi means one who speaks first. And that too with a smile. Smita Purva Abhibhashi. One of Ramachandra's Lakshana. Sri Ramachandra's Lakshana. You should not follow Sri Krishna. We are trying to follow Sri Krishna, that is the problem. But we have to follow Sri Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra is an ideal character before us. Not Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is not an ideal character. We try to do, we consider ourselves as Bhagavan Sri Krishna and want to bless everybody. So Gurudev says that you practice small things. So this is my sharing, and there is question and answers. Anybody wants to ask questions, you can ask me, and to the extent possible I will share. Both from scriptural angle and also from the social angle. From the social angle answer also I can give. Anybody wants answer from the scriptures? From the scriptures also, to the extent possible I will quote. If I remember, I may not remember everything. And even if you take Bhagavad Gita also, is there. Ahimsa satyam astema parigraham brahmacharyam, all these things in there. Anudvegaram vakyam priyam hitam chayat. All tapasyas are all there in the, it is told in the 17th chapter, 12th chapter. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karunaya vacha nirmamo nirahangaraha. 12th chapter, last 8 slokas. It is called Amritakshtaka. 35 qualities are told. If those 35 qualities are practiced, they are dear to be, he says. Swami Chidanji Maharaj wanted to print this and to give. In the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Yoga, the Bhakti Yoga of Bhagavad Gita does not speak about the Bhakti Yoga our normal concept of Bhakti. Our concept of Bhakti is why we are going in the Bhagavan, I love you very much. That is not there in that Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavan says, I love you. It is not the devotee loves Bhagavan. In the Bhakti Yoga Bhagavad Gita, if you see that, Bhagavan says, I love you. Adveshta sarvabhutanam, maitra karunaye vacha, nirmamo nirhankaraha, sukadukka sukakshami. Then anudvegagaram vakyam, priyam hriyam, that is like that, it goes actually. So one who will not use any word which will hurt you. No hate, enmity, adveshta, no enmity with anyone. Maitri bhava, karuna. These are small things are told, 35 qualities. If these are the same priyaha, he says. He is dear to me, he is dear to me. So, these qualities, Gurudev has given emphasis these things because if we practice even little of practice, swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even if we practice a little of this, it will remove the biggest problem in our life. So our Divine Life Society, we do not give much importance to the oratory based on scriptures. That does not mean that you say blah blah blah. Whatever you say should be correct actually. Okay. Something blah 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 anybody can say, that won't work actually. It should be based on scriptures, but not actually, it should not be a professorial lecture. A lecture based on self-experience. A lecture which is true, which comes from the heart, not from the intellect. And that will go and touch the other man's mind actually. Whatever I speak, it should touch you. Otherwise it will go like this. So Gurudev wanted it that way only, and he has spoken that way. Although he has written about all the books, it doesn't mean that he doesn't know. He knows everything. Knowing fully well what is taught in that, what is the real message. The real message is, it is very simple. Spiritual practice is very simple. We have complicated. So Prahlada is one of the biggest devotee, very great devotee. Prahlada says in the Bhagavad, Dakshyachyutam pranayato bahvayaso asuratmakaha atmattvadiha sarvabhutanam siddhatvadiha sarvata. Dakshyachyutam pranayataha. To make Bhagavan happy, no effort is required. Dakshyachyutam pranayato bahvayasaha. Big effort is not required. No effort is required. Why? Because Atmatvad Sarvabhuta. He is your Antaratma. You be true to your Antaratma. You be true to your own self. Achyutam pranayato bhakvayaso. He asuratmajaha. He was telling to his students. Atmatvad Sarvabhutanam. He is the Antaratma of everyone. And Siddha Vastu actually. It is not something to be achieved. It is a Siddha Vastu. What prayasa is there? It is Adisulabha. Adisulabham. So Gurudev's teachings are, people doesn't speak much about 20 spiritual instructions and other things. They speak big things. I will speak about Bhagavad, I will speak about Bhagavad Gita. I will speak about Yoga Vasishta. Yoga Vasishta we cannot understand. Panchadashi we cannot understand. To understand the scriptures, certain amount of purity is required. And that purity comes from tapasya. So traditional teachers never teach Vedanta. First they will be there, ask him to be here. Be here for some time. Then I am waiting here for, I was waiting for 3 days, he did not give me anything. I don't want to go away, means he's not fit. He has to be there. So there is a story I want to share you also. If you want questions, I will answer. One story I will share you. So there is one story. One boy went to a teacher, Gurukula. It's Upanishad stories. And he joined him, when everything was done. Then he did not teach him. He gave him cows. The story you may be knowing. He gave cows and then told him, make them 1,000 numbers and make it 1,000 and bring, he said. It comes from the Samaveda Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad. So he took the cows there and they were grazing and they are increasing, number increasing. It became 1,000. He was not even aware, he can't count every day. When they become 1,000, one bull spoke, "Hey, Satyakam, we already become 1,000, you take us to Gurukula," he says. Now you should understand one thing. The Upanishads are very logical subjects. Afterwards, the analysis is very dry and very tough. Very tough, actually. So it is like learning this advanced mathematics. Very tough. Upanishads are not stories. It is a logical science. So next, afterwards, the mantra comes. It is all logical analysis. Before that, the story says the bull spoke to him. How can a bull speak? So there is a contradiction, you see. Very logically you are presenting the subject. Before that you give a story where it is rubbish. Then it is said, the bull gives him some upadesha. Then he moves. And he has to move to reach that home, to reach that Gurukula. It takes about 3-4 days. So one day he traveled and then he was staying near a river source. So he was staying there and then there was a diving bird, Madgu, diving bird, in the water diving bird. So the diving bird him upadesha. Next day, first day bull, next day diving bird. Third day the fire gives him upadesha. Fourth day he reaches the Gurukula. The Guru will look at him. "Hey, Satyakam, you look very bright. It seems you have understood everything. Who has given you instructions? Who has taught you?" he says. "Who can teach me, my master? You only have to teach," he says. Then the teacher taught him what those bull and bird and Agni taught. That only he teaches. Similarly, another story is also there. Different circumstances. So what does it mean to you? It means that you will learn everything from the world. The world is our teacher. Ordinary person, your sweeper will teach you something. The enlightenment will come from the sweeper. Dattatreya got upadesha from so many 24 gurus. It is not Dattatreya got it. You and me will also get. One teacher, a snake, gave him upadesha. Then one girl gives him an upadesha. One prostitute gives him upadesha. So everything in this world, the whole world will teach you. Bhagavan is there in everything. So then you go to the teacher. What you know, he will confirm. So the spiritual knowledge is not imparted by the teacher, by the guru. The spiritual knowledge is already lying dormant in your mind. It lies very dormant. And the guru only confirms that. No guru can impart the knowledge. If that is possible, Sri Krishna could have converted all his Yadavas. They all drank and fought with each other and died. You know that? If Krishna could not do that, whether I and anybody can do it. So already the spiritual knowledge is there in you. And it has to be enlightened. So you have to enlighten it up. It should wake up in you. The spiritual knowledge which lies dormant in you has to wake up. And when it wakes up, you will have a doubt whether it is right or not. Yes, Guru will confirm. So there is a story about Ramana Bhagavan. Ramana Bhagavan is one of the disciples. He had that experience. Then he asked Bhagavan, Bhagavan, I have this experience. Is this that? He asked. Is this that experience? Yes. Adadan idu, he says. In Tamil, Adhidan means what you had, that is this, he says. What you are aspiring to achieve, that is this only, he says. So the spiritual knowledge lies very dormant in you, because Bhagavan is there. He is also lying dormant in you. You don't feel that Bhagavan is in me? I am a stupid fellow, you think? You are not a stupid person. You are divine. You are omniscient. You are Ananda Swarupa. But we think otherwise. So that which lies dormant in you, that has to wake up actually. And that wake up call Gurudev gives you. Hey, my children, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Do little small things. I will see that you get it like that. So this is my sharing on this occasion. And any questions you ask, I'll be happy to. What type of questions you want to ask, you can ask me.
In the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, in the 12th chapter Bhagavad Gita, 35 qualities are enumerated. And in the 13th chapter, another 20.
Okay.
And finally, in the 18th chapter, he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam. How do we go about it?
What is told in the 12th chapter and 13th chapter, one and the same. All are one and the same only. Sit down now. What is told in the 12th chapter, these are the qualities, if these are there, I love him very much, he says. What are the qualities he states there? These things you practice. Okay. 13th chapter is, here he says, if these qualities are there, he is dear to me. 13th chapter he says the same thing, you practice this. These are the Asvadik Dharma and what is that? What is that called? Devi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. Devi Sampat, Devi qualities and Asuriga qualities. So you get rid of this, the Asuriga, and practice Devika, he says. So if you practice that and if you become perfect, then I love you, he says. Sarvadharman Parityajya means actually, Sarvadharman Parityajya means Dharma and Adharma are pairs of opposites. Okay. What is our problem? That is your problem. If you analyze your problem, your problem is pairs of opposites. Suppose if you want to launch a new project on your own, you are doing a business, you want to launch a new project. What thought will come you? Whether it will be successful, I will be successful or not. Whether I will be able to do it or I will not be able to do it. So your mind has a problem of this dichotomy. This way or that way, this way or that way. I always quote this from the Shakespeare. Shakespeare's famous one work is Hamlet. That Hamlet says, to be or not to be is the question. Whatever we think, the mind will immediately think of the opposite. Okay? The mind, by nature, the mind is chanchala. Chanchalatmika mana. Mind is always wavering. So afterwards you take a decision. So if the mind is not at all wavering, then there is no problem. Then only Shanti will be there. As long as the mind is wavering, Shanti will not be there. When the wavering ceases, Shanti will be there. Dharma and Adharma are the two poles. So you be in between. People will hold on to Dharma and hate Adharma. Some people will not do Dharma and hold on to Adharma. Both will be suffering. Both are, one is wrong and the other is immature. So a child is there. You take for example a child. A child You lift a child. So stealing is bad, is wrong, okay? If I pickpocket you, is it okay? What is this? Swamiji is pickpocketing me, they will say. Okay? Now you hold a child here, and that child puts your hand into your pocket and lifts something. Will you be angry with him? Why? If I do that, then if the Swamiji should not be received here, he should not visit our ashram, you will say. Whereas the child means you will laugh. If the child puts the hand into your pocket, you will laugh. Why? Because it has no such intention. So, go beyond dharma and adharma means live without intentions. Anapeksha shuchir daksha. Anapeksha means what? Anapeksha shuchir daksha. Anapeksha means what? Apeksha rehitaha. Apeksha means desire. No desire is there. If no desire is there, neither dharma will be there, nor adharma will be there. Neither good is there, nor bad is there. Good and bad are relative, you know. We have to practice good so that you go beyond bad. Afterwards, this will also drop. The Shastra gives an example like this. You know, suppose if there is in the water treatment, you go to a water treatment plant, water is muddy first. They take the river water. Muddy water is there. So in order to bring down the mud and make the water clean, free from mud, free from that turbidity, do you know what they do? They will put alum into that. So the alum will collect all this and it will settle down. So alum is also a foreign matter. So alum will collect everything and settle. It will settle everything. It will also settle. Okay. So the goodness will remove the badness in you, and the goodness will also go. When goodness also goes, you become divine. You become divine only when you are free from dharma and adharma. Bhagavan is beyond dharma and adharma. Sarva dharman parityaja means first adharma tyaga. Then dharma is there. You say dharmishtaha. Then Bhagavan is not a dharmishta, he is above. That is Sri Krishna. Sri Ramachandra is dharmishta. That is why we are not worshipping Sri Ramachandra as much as we worship Bhagavan, Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is considered as the supreme God. Rama is a Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma, an ideal character before us to emulate. Sri Krishna is beyond everything. That is how it is, story presence. It is not the person, okay? Don't consider it as a person. Sri Krishna, Sri Ramachandra's devotee should not get hurt. It is personification. Sri Ramachandra, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Sri Krishna is not Vigrahavan Dharma. He is beyond Dharma and Adharma. That is why he says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, he says. Ramachandra will not say Dharma, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, will not say. You follow Dharma, you say. That is first step. Sarva Dharman Parityaja is the last step. That's why Shastra has to be studied properly and with practice actually. So the study of Shastra also requires certain amount of discipline in our life. Now everybody is studying, like as we study physics, we study. It is not a subject to be intellectually understood. It is a subject which is to be lived by us. It speaks about us. It is the subject. It is not an object. Shastra, you should not make an objective study. It is something subjective. Okay.
Continuity of this, like Sarvadharman Parityaja is there, right? And another contradictory sloka is that, you should die in your own dharma. Right?
That is told for a lower level.
So, but this is the contradictory. So, what's
that contradictory I will clarify now.
Yeah.
Now we all study first we study the primary level and then come up, okay? So suppose if a child, when we were all children, we go to study and then first the alphabets teach, then the numbers, numericals will be taught, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Then the addition will be taught. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5 like that. And then subtraction will be taught. When the subtraction is taught at the primary level, 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. 7 minus 4 is equal to 3, like that. Afterwards, 12 minus 5 comes what they will say. 2, from 2 you cannot deduct 5. 2 is a smaller number. From a smaller number, bigger number will not be able to deduct, they say. Okay? So that statement is correct. The child will be told, you cannot deduct a bigger number from a smaller number. You should make it big from taking that. So to that child we should not say a bigger number can be deducted from a smaller number. Then it becomes a negative number. We don't say that to that child. Okay? Okay, you understood actually. So afterwards you should tell. Okay? Now another example I give you. Parallel lines doesn't meet. Parallel lines will not meet. One statement. Parallel lines will meet at infinity. That will also meet. Okay. Infinity minus x is infinity. Infinity plus x is also infinity. So many contradictions are there in our logics. So, but before, that is why without properly studying the scriptures, without preparing ourselves, we study the higher one. To a second class child, we tell him smaller, bigger number can be deducted, means he will get confused. That is what we are doing now. In the traditional teachers will never do that. They will never allow you to ask questions. I studied everything under traditionally. We will do torture. You cannot ask questions, you stupid fellow. Before that you are asking questions, they will say. Then you have to keep quiet. So they will kill our ego. Now what happens? Little we study, we become more egoistic. Now all this, most of the studies, the online studies and other people used to come and tell me also sometimes that I have studied this and that. Sometimes people used to come and tell me I have studied 4 Vedas. I studied Vedas. Then I will ask which Veda I have studied. All the Vedas. Then I know he has not studied anything. Because to study one Veda it takes a long time. He said I have studied all the 4 Vedas. And the very presence make me understand that he has not studied anything. Then I will not ask him any questions. Sometimes people will come and say that I have studied Bhagavad, I want to give a talk here. Which subject you can? Anything. Then if you ask him, tell me the first sloka of Bhishma Stuti, he will not know. So it is a tapasya. Study of a scripture is a tapasya. The tapasya only will make you understand what is told. You know what is meant by chandas. Chandas, you know. A mantra is there, means a mantra has got a meter. It's all in the poetical form. In the poetical form it is called the chandas. So whatever mantra we say, Gayatri, suppose Gayatri mantra means Gayatri Rishi, Vishwamitra Rishi, Gayatri Chinta, Paramatma Devata, Rishi Chandas Devata is there. Chandas means meter. In our known languages or regional languages also, meter is there. So chandas means meter. So in the Shastra, you have to worship the chandas first, the meter first, the Rishi first, and the Devata. We worship the Devata to which this mantra is attributed, and the meter to which it is made, and who made this. So the Rishi, for example, Bhagavad Gita is Anushtup Chandas. So Bhagavan Krishna is the Devata, Anushtup Chandas. So likewise you have to first prostrate to the Devata, to the Chandas, and to the Rishi. Ordinarily, Chandas means meter. Meter means definite number of letters in each quarter. If are 8 means it is called Anushtup. If it is 11, then another 12, another 13, another like that. So all the mantras are made to Chandas. The Chandas has got different meaning in the Vedas. Chandas means Chadanat Chandaha. Chadana means Achadana. You understand? What is in the Achadana? Covering, protection. So the mantras are password protected. It is protected by the Chandas. It is password. It will not open up to you until you are eligible for that. If you have humility, devotion to God, devotion to the Shastra, and devotion to the Guru, then only it will open. Otherwise, you will misunderstand. We will think we know everything. Then the Chandas will be laughing at you because it has not opened up. Without actually seeing, you think it is. So the study is very important, but study has to be done with a pure mind. Great love for the Shastra. Great love for the Guru Parampara. And obedience to the Shastra. You should become Trinadabi Sulichena. Swami Chidanti Maharaj used to quote all the time. Humble than the blade of grass. Then Shastra will open up. No need for any teacher. It will make you understand everything. If you are egoistic, it will not open up anything. You will say that I know everything, but you will not know anything. When doubt comes, you will not be able to clarify. Your own doubt you will not be able to clarify. Yeah. Any other question? How much your time?
Time, there is no problem, sir. You can continue. What I briefly want is, after your speech, a few minutes of bhajan. So that
now we will stop then.
they can do bhajan. Then finally, Archana will be done to the Padakas. Then,
Oh. तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः मनसो वृत्तयो नस्यु कृष्णपादं पूजाश्रयाः वाचो विधायिनीं नाम्नां कायस्तत्प्रकुणानि कर्मभिर्भ्रम्यमाणानां यत्रत्वादिकरिष्यया मङ्गलाजनि देवदानि प्रतिर्न कृष्ण ईश्वरे भवे भवे यथा भक्ति पादयोस्तव जायते तथा गुरुष्व देवेश नातस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो